Well, hello everybody, welcome back to Four Lights Wellness. My name is Omid. This is the Christmas Village edition. I figured it was out this time of the year. Might as well film a video in front of it, but I want to talk to my people that have any type of ankle, knee, hip pain, even some little bits of lower back, SI joint stuff. One of the things that happens a lot of times with hips is that they are supposed to rotate inside of the hip socket, and if they can't do that, you can stretch the hip all you want. The challenge is when you start to look at the fascial lines of things, the actual connective tissues and the neurological system, the hip rotates as much as the ankle tells it to. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, when the ankle goes through plantar flexion, this malleolus actually rotates out relative to the tibia. That has everything to do with this calf muscle kind of pulling things up, soleus underneath, pulling things up, and it rotates externally, just the littlest bit to get that plantar to flex. Likewise, as I spread the toes, lift up and come in, all of this moves backwards. Tibialis anterior kicks in, all of the EDLs kick in. Everything rotates this ankle relatively inwards. Now, if I point my knee straight at you and I do the same thing, watch the knee. As I come up through here, the knee rotates out. Femur rotates out into external rotation. As I spread and lift, the knee wants to come in. And if that ankle is not able to move, your hip's gonna actually have a lot of restrictions. So one of the ways that I tend to help people with this, especially if there is a difference left to right, that's a really big deal. One knee bone tends to go out, one knee bone tends to go in. It starts to cause SI joint dysfunctions, all sorts of stuff. You just get a yoga block. You lie on your back, and you put that yoga block at the thin side, right between those knees, arms out to the sides, hanging out in this position. I'm gonna roll up my sweater here, it's a little cold, just to show you my back. It's just neutral. Okay, I'm not holding it anywhere, I'm not letting it flatten all the way back, I'm just kind of allowing the pelvis to be in a neutral position. Feet are straight forward, hip width apart, matching the ankle width distance to my knees. And I'm gonna do the exact same thing. I'm gonna spread out the toes, lift up the fronts of the feet and the balls, and then I'm going to roll down as smoothly as I can, spreading those toes, pushing them down, and lifting up the heels as high as I can. I'm not squeezing the block necessarily. I am kind of holding it so I can feel my inner thighs kicking in. So if you need to squeeze a little bit more to feel those, make sure they're on, that's great. But you're going to go through, 2, maybe 3 sets of this, 10, 15 reps. Maybe 20. We're not looking to condition a lot of things here. What we're looking for is just to get the neurological activation to make sure things are bilateral. And what you'll probably find is that it's a lot harder on one side than the other to do this. You also might notice that your upper body's getting involved with this, the neck's getting involved with this. You might even notice that trying to spread the toes out makes your hands kick in a whole bunch. That just tells us that the ankles have not been quite doing their job as much as we want them to. And right about now, my right and left hips are starting to talk to each other. My erectors are starting to get slightly involved, but not in a bad way, not that tight. They're just responding to the movement. And I usually tell clients is we want to be able to do this until eventually the entire spinal column is actually involved with this. Now, I should mention where I learned this. Ridiculously smart guy named Pete Egoscue back in the day. Wrote a whole bunch of really famous books you guys should get at least pain-free. The second version is fantastic. Pete, thank you very much. But what this does, it's kind of like a rocking chair motion. When you sit in a rocking chair, it's not just the ankles that do the motion. It's not just the pelvis. It's not just rocking forward and back in the upper body. It's the entire body creating a wave to go back and forth, just almost with the breath. And when you start to get in a really good rock in a rocking chair, I'll show you my badass one that my father-in-law made too. The idea is that it's supposed to be a relaxing wave-like motion that is just parasympathetic. It just gets everything to sync up together. So that's probably about 50 of those because I don't know how to frickin' count. But what should happen now, as I go back to my rotations, is now my rotation is actually quite a bit smoother and more free. And the whole reason I'm doing this today is just so I want to get onto the Peloton a little bit. And I didn't want my knee to hurt. So just because I said I would do it, look at that bad boy. Carpenter extraordinaire made that in his garage, in his workshop. Now we use it all the dang time, especially around the holidays. So that's it for this video. I hope that information is very helpful to you guys. As always, have a happy and healthy rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one.